everyone. Welcome back to the series of Generative AI. So today we are going to learn about Cohere LLM, okay, which is also very important large language model. And now the good news is it is some models we can use it for free. Okay, that is why we are discussing. Already in the last class, I have already given you a brief idea about Gemini LLM, right? So then come up with a use case and then try to solve that in the backend using Gemini. So today we will discuss about Cohere. So tomorrow I will explain the concepts of RAG, retrieval augmented and generation. Then we will build we're going to build one application end to end application using generative AI. Okay, so that is the plan. So today we will discuss about different things what we can do with Cohere large language model, and also if you wanted to learn where can you learn all these concepts. Today we are going to cover. And as usual, any LLM model, okay, what is really important is first we have to get the API key. I mean, if you want to build a backend application, means you have to get the API key. So Cohere, okay, dashboard.cohere.com. This is the site you should go and then visit. So here, if you go, first the first steps are always, the sign in steps. You can sign in with your email, and then you can verify your email account once. Okay, just give me a second. Let me add Maria. Okay, so once you finish the sign in steps, so you can see a welcome board like this. Welcome. Okay, what is Cohere? Okay, Cohere, what exactly it will do? All these things you can able to see. And then on your left side of the window where you can see API key. Okay, API keys. You are using Cohere free account, get a production key. There you can skip this one if you wanted to maintain thing, but it is limited. It is free, but it is limited. But don't go for this. Already you will get the default trial key, okay, which is this is really free. You can click on this I button, you will get your accounts related free API key. You have to copy that API key and then come back to the place where you are writing the code, where there you can paste. I already had mentioned you, right? You should not disclose this API key. Uh, this you should not disclose this API key. Instead, you can save it in a text file and then read that as a path. That is the proper and appropriate way. You have to follow that same. Okay. Then if you are using Colab, then first step is you should install the Cohere so that you can access all the Cohere related functions. Like in Gemini also, Gemini, whatever we discussed, if we go and recap, okay. So the first steps are quite common. I already mentioned. First step is to install the library. Second step is call the API key and then configuration. These three steps are quite common in almost all, but maybe the functions are different with respect to the SDK. Now we have to use the Cohere SDK. Okay, we have to import the Cohere. The second step is calling the API. Here you can see API calling is there, and then this, I mean, there are multiple ways to configure. This is itself is configuration, and here it is what API assigning. Okay, so these are the three steps where you can see almost common in all the different LLMs. Like OpenAI also it is the same, Gemini also same, Cohere also same. First one is import, second step is API assigning, and then uh, assign that API key. I mean, configure is, it is simple, that configuration, configure with your account. Okay, once you configure, if you observe this, okay, here what you are doing, you are getting the response. Okay, how you are getting the response? You just calling the model and then prompt, you are passing the prompt in the appropriate function of Gemini. In the same way here also we have to use chart is a function. The chart, inside chart you can call the appropriate model. And if you observe, okay, if you observe the Cohere UI, if you go to the dashboard here, let me show you. Playground is the section. Okay, you have to go to the playground one. There you can see you can enter some message to the AI. For example, what is generative generative AI. If you enter this thing, then you will get the AI response. Okay. Here you can see the models. Okay. Here there are different models are there. Out of these different models, I am using, as of this example, I am using this one, command A 03 2025. Okay. Which is recently released model from Cohere. Understand? So that is why I am using. See, you can see command A 03 2025. This is the recently released model from Cohere. Okay. So that is what I am using. And inside here in Gemini, there is section called contents where you are allowed to write a prompt. But in Cohere, you should use messages. Okay. Messages. There you can mention, is this a system message or else a user message? I have already told you about instructions, right? Instructions in Gemini. So in the same way, in Cohere also, you can pass in system instructions and then you can pass a prompt. If you want to pass a prompt, then role is what user. You should keep it as user. And then content is what generally a prompt. Okay, you can write it as a prompt. And then here in Gemini, if you want to really visualize the output, you should use response.text function. But in Cohere, we have to use response.message.contents. It is a list, so we have to extract the first element dot text. Then only you can see the exact output of the generative AI. If you really wanted to know the code, you can also see from the Cohere playground, you can enter the prompt and then click on view code. By default, it is TypeScript. You can change to Python. Understand? So here we are using the same code. You can see role is text and type is text. We want type is text for the role. Okay. So what is generative AI? Then assistant means AI. To AI, I mean, this is the result of the AI. AI is giving all these output. Okay. This is what AI has given. And by default, temperature value is zero point 0.3. So same thing we got extracted. See, generative AI refers to the category and all generative AI about generative AI. Up to now, is it clear? The Cohere first steps are clear. Can I get a quick confirmation? Is this clear?
So are all these are like setting up the air, setting it up right.
Correct. All
Like
these are the like the initial steps with Cohere. Okay. If you want to build a backend application using Cohere LLM, and these are the steps you should follow.
okay, got it.
Okay, so first you have to import and then configure with the proper API key, and then a proper function you should use to to indicate, I mean to like assign the model and also assign the messages. Inside messages you can mention for what purpose you are using. For example, if it is to user, then this is the question, user will ask this question. That is how a generative AI will understand, and this is the answer provided by the generative AI. Is that clear?
Yes, got it. Yes.
Okay. So once you finish this, then I will really show you one wonderful site of Cohere. That is, if you go to the Cohere Playground main page, you can see the dashboard. Okay. If you go to the dashboard, you can also see some sections. Okay. Which are at my left. Let this page reload. It is taking time to get reload. It is taking long time than usual. You can get all the references of this code. If you want to learn about Cohere LLM, Cohere LLM is also a a good option for especially POCs. POCs means if you want to build any proof of concepts, if you have any idea in you, and if you want to showcase to someone a generative AI application, but if you go to any open AI or anyone, so it has to, I mean, we have to pay. So it is not coming up for free. There are only limited options with us. If we really wanted to try generative AI applications, freely with free API keys, then Gemini is one option, Cohere is another option. But what is the beauty with Cohere is, we will, I mean, implement a lot of things. A lot of things are readily available. The documentation is readily available. Just we need to change the logic according to our POC. That is one beauty. And there is one more con is there with con with Cohere is the output. The output quality is not that much great as Gemini. So that is also be there, but you should provide a prompt, relevant prompt like that. A small applications, customized applications, Cohere also can be a better option. You can also do fine tuning with this. You can also learn fine tuning. You can get a lot of data sets readily available, API keys, connectors. Main important thing is um, the documentation. Oh, it is available at the end. Yes. Documentation. So the documentation is really straightforward. Okay. Very useful. Okay. So you can see initialization, how to get initialize. Okay. And then what are the cloud platforms are it is supporting? Oracle, I have already mentioned you, right? OCI has the Cohere models. Okay. Amazon Bedrock also, Amazon AWS is also supporting, Azure also supporting the Cohere models. Okay, it is also one of the best LLMs also for your practice. So how to import Cohere, how to initialize, okay, client setup, how to do, and then so different parameters like what is this API key, what is base URL, what is environment, what is client name, timeout, all with respect to that you will get a quick understanding. And if you really wanted to generate a text out of Cohere, then this is the proper way you should follow. Okay, if it is in Bedrock, this is the way. SageMaker, this is the way. Azure AI, this is the way. Private deployment, how you can do that. Okay, everything you can learn. So the best out of all the Cohere is Cohere LLM University is there. If you really wanted to learn about LLMs, so one stop destination. Okay, LLM University, all are free, accessible things. Okay, so before coming to tomorrow's class, please read about this similarity between sentences. What are ode embeddings? Okay, what is attention language models? What are transformer models and how do they work? These are the prerequisites that you have to understand. Okay, for tomorrow's one, because tomorrow I'm going to explain, as I mentioned, RAG, retrieval augmented generation, and then we will discuss about semantic search, test classification somewhat. Okay, fine tuning, if you wanted to learn fine tuning, then this is very good article. You will definitely understand in easy way. Okay, step by step how you can do with the help of the Cohere. Okay, how you can fine tune a simple. Okay, this is anyway the aviation kind of data set also they provided. Please go through this. Okay, how to fine tune for a specific task also it is clearly mentioned. Just go through that. It is not a very typical topic. It is simple that we are just going to make LLM to work on our specific data, and in future any other like relevant to our data set, then it will understand and it will try to resolve in that particular manner. So if you go and click on this one, this is the data set. Okay, this is the data set. If you download, you will get it as a CSV file. Okay, these many points are there. So we are just feeding all this data to our LLM, and then we'll make LLM to work according to our requirement. That is what fine tuning. Okay, so go through that one. And one more thing, important thing is Cohere also have cookbooks. In these cookbooks already people have tried a lot of applications and then published or else deployed here. You can go through them and then get the motivation out of it, and then if you really wanted to build any one of these applications, you can also get start with that. For example, data analyst agent built with Cohere and LangChain. Anyway, LangChain I will also cover tomorrow. So once you understand about LangChain, you can also going to uh, im- implement all these things together. Okay, agent API calls, financial CSV agent with LangChain. Okay, and agentic AI, RAG, SQL agent. If you want to build anything, then you can go ahead and look at this, and then you can also click on build this, and then you can understand all such things. Okay, what is the workflow it is using, and then the code you will get, and you just need to just spend some time and then get the motivation and then do according to your tasks. So today what we are going to learn is a simple basic understanding of the RAG, basic understanding of the Cohere and what all things it can do. Okay, so because this particular Cohere is really important because the forget about the quality. Okay, quality I too agree that some models of Cohere are not that much great, but I was not tested anyway. To be frank, the recent model which was developed by them, the command models are actually good. I have read an article in somewhere. Command models are really good from Cohere. They're mentioning that, but I was not tested. To be frank, did not get any enough time to test its quality. But earlier models, a long back, like a year ago, the Cohere models were not that much good. But the applications can be built on top of Cohere was really good all the time. Okay, a lot of inspiration you will get with the help of generative AI, what all things can be developed. That inspiration will help you to build AI application according to your API. It may be from Gemini API, or it may be from OpenAI. API can be any, any company or anything. According to API, according to the model, you will get the results. Remember this thing. But the application, how to build it, what is the structure of it, what is the, uh, all the workflow. If you want to really wanted to learn, there is two stop destinations. One is um, the cookbook, and then documentation of Cohere and LLM University. So where you will learn all the related things about LLM. Okay. So in your free time, please do spend time on these so that you can learn a lot many things about large language models. Really helpful one. Today we will see a little bit. So I'm going to the doc. Yeah, text generation. So inside this text generation, if you want to generate a basic text, then response should be like the response variable should be chart, and then mention the model. This thing we just already discussed, like how to pass the messages. Okay, mentioning the role and content, and then response dot message dot content of 0, and then dot text will give you the answer of generative AI out of Cohere. Okay, and then if you want to build a state management, okay, to maintain state of conversation, for example, then such as for example building the chatbots, then how can you do is role mention that system, and you can mention the system message. This is similar to the system instructions which we discuss in Gemini. Okay, role is system means it is to the system. Role is user means it is a kind of question going to ask from the user. If role is assistant means what answer the AI should provide you. Okay, if you go and have a look on ChatGPT, if you say hi, then it will say you like, hi, how are you? How can I assist you today? Something like that message. So that is what the assistant message what they have already fixed. In the same way, you have to do like this. So in the messages, what type of messages that you have to fix is role. Role means system. System instruction. System instruction is very simple. Your response in concise statements, and then we are assigning role is user, content is hello. If hello is clear, if user given has given hello, then how to respond to that hello means that is what the assistance message, like, hi, how can I help you today. So you can assign here either hello, hi, how are you, all these things you can add, and then anything from all those user messages, the AI should respond like that. And if user ask any other question, like I am going to joining a new startup called quality all question, then then you will get the answer of that particular user question. Likewise, you can add all the user ones, and then you can append the all the assistant ones. Okay, as of now, this is not an iterative, right? You can run it in a for loop where user message and assistant message you can iteratively add one on. That is what appending one on one. This is not any running a for loop. If for explanation purpose, they just given one role user, sorry, two user roles and one assistant role. Okay. Similarly, streaming. Yesterday, I have already told you. I mean, in the last class, I told you about what is streaming, what can it do. So it is simply that it will help us to do text generations. We can call that chart endpoint using chart stream. So if you enable that one, you will get the results streaming wise. If you disable this, you the AI will generate at its back end and then will present it in the front end. That is what the difference between with streaming and without streaming. Mostly applications are with chart underscore stream. That is what charting with streamed outputs. Okay. After that rag, and then yeah, this is also important one in the LLM University. So if you want to build a chatbot, you can. I mean, this is a direct, straightforward documentation you can learn from your like in your free time. So here you can see any chatbot messages are like this: message and response, message and response. Message going to be like this, and the response going to be like this. And how can you append this means a custom message also you can add. Just now I discussed, and go through this. You will get to understand how chatbots are actually built using AI. Okay, and how do you get streaming the chatbot response step by step it has given. Okay, please go through that these things. Okay, ultimately it is going to be like this in the backend. Role is system, this is system message, this is user message, then this is the content. And again, assistants going to be answer like this. And user again going to ask is something like this. And again, assistant going to answer like this. And if you want to end this thing in your application, you can mention a small code. Like if user enter anything like end, stop, okay, I'm satisfied, something like this, then you can also end the chat response. Something like that you can also build. That part anyway I covered in Gemini. You please go through that how we built in Gemini the chatbot. Okay, fine. And then if you really want to know some prompt engineering one by one, step by step, then this is a document you can how to write a prompt. Okay, and how to add instructions. Anyway, we discussed these things. But if you really want to have it in one place, the document way, where you can go and refer quickly, then you can utilize the LLM University things where you will get all the things. Okay, so tomorrow anyway I will refer the same retrieval augmented generation documentation, these things, getting started with how to build a rag, and then how to build rag application connectors, and then conversations, and then okay, and then some tool use also we'll use, like from rag to tool use, how to use remaining things that you can refer. If you really wanted to learn about AWS, then you please go ahead and look at these important materials also, so that it will give you an idea, as well as if you some of you already has the AWS account, right? The start version, like, or else the initial account, where you can also implement these applications and start building in Amazon, so that it will add your experience, okay, and weightage in the resume. Okay.
Yes, I'm Prajwal. I'm unable to hear the audio properly. I'm gonna exit and re-enter again.
Yeah, yeah. Is it only to Prajwal or Samrin? Is it clear to you, or else do you also face the same?
It's clear, Ashwant.
Okay,
Yeah,
Prajwal,
I
you
think
can
yeah,
rejoin.
only for me because I received a call and I think something
Ah,
happened. Yeah, I'm going to do
it
it
is
again.
fine. It is fine. You can rejoin quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what you guys can do immediately means you go ahead and observe the Gemini and how it is working and play around with Gemini, and then get a confidence with Gemini, like how you can build a small backend applications with Gemini and all. After that, you go and explore the Cohere large language model, the document, I mean the file which I'm going to present you. Anyway, I will share this Cohere LLM, the notebook file to you. Yesterday, sorry, in the last class, I shared the Gemini. So now I'm going to share this to you so that you can, all you need to do is you should spend time and then explore the materials, explore the things, and then start building your own application. Okay. What today also can be seen is, uh, okay. Hmm, application using LLMs. Okay. So what we can do is now, if you have anything in your mind using generative AI, if you want to build, let us build this quickly. Anything you want to share? I mean, for example, you have an idea, you want to add generative AI there, and then want to build one application for some target audience, let's say medical field, or else let's say tourists, or let's say anything. If you want to add such things, you please let me know so that we'll build accordingly.
Uh, yes, I want to do, but I have a lot of things in my mind and I don't know which one
What
to
are them?
choose.
So let us write down all so that how many can be possible. Let's do that one by one, step by step.
Mm. Like suggesting the cheapest flight.
Suggesting the cheapest
Like,
flights. Okay.
yeah.
Any other? Okay. Let's build this one. So if you really want to suggest the cheapest flights with generative AI, what are the requirements? Okay. What are the requirements? This is a question we have to form. Okay. So what are the requirements? The requirements can be, okay. The requirements can be the real time Google data, right? So it has to see the Google, and then the user will ask user what user should ask. This is important. What user going to ask? Going to select the like from and to destinations, right? And
Yes.
then AI has to analyze the data from Google and suggest to users the best flight flight, and then suggest the best places to visit. Okay.
Hmm. Yes.
So these are the small things that we can start building. Okay, if you really want to build this application, then what things need to do? First, if you want to do with this, you can use Gemini, because where, I mean, you can also use Cohere. Cohere connectors will be there. Okay, you have to check with connectors. What are these connectors? I already told in the first class. Connectors are nothing but if you want to use Google or else any other website. Okay, you cannot use Google thing, I think, but you can use DuckDuckGo, that is available. Google means some
Okay.
subscription might be there. That is what online connectors,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
online
Okay.
search engine
Okay.
connectors. connectors in
Yeah.
Cohere. In
So
Cohere.
the yeah. Generally,
Okay.
whenever I search flights, I use Google Flights.
Hmm. I mean that comes with subscription actually, but here
Like,
I don't think they are available.
okay, let's do something then which is like freely available.
Yeah, exactly. Grounding with Google research. Yes, this is one thing we can do with Gemini. With Gemini, we can do that because we have that option called grounding with thing. Okay.
Oh,
Here they will provide that option. Yes, tools. Here you can see tool. Okay, Google search tool. This is the one we can use, Google search tool. Okay, grounding Google search tool we can use. Just a second, just a second.
okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so the same thing we can also use. So let us use this code and then go back to Gemini. So application. If you really want to use connectors, you can use this connector and like this tools. So what we are going to do? So here we need to come up with API key. Okay, API key, how to pass all these things anyway we discussed. So here we have to give the API key, Control X. Let's do it in one by one. Let me create an API key.